Craven. Breaks one tackle. Carried the ball, wraps him up. Heppy drops off Schultz. Oh, stopped 2 yards short. Last tackle. Oh, going left. Boyd. Nice ball into the gap from Leicester. The defence moved up. I think they're expecting the ball wide. But just a simple ball into the gap. And David Boyd crashes over. Craven. The corner. Leicester. Boyd. Heppy. Oh, lovely ball, Heppy. Rob Nolan will be under the post. Oh, beautiful bit of passing. Break the corner down the right. Move the ball well down the left. Good delayed pass by Brad Heppy. Put Rob Nolan into the gap. Heppy. Gets rid of it to Boyd. Heppy again. Wakefield man. Holtz. Dixon. Nice ball to Rob Nolan. The corner will score. Twice Brad Heppy involved in that movement. Ireland. So Boyd. The corner. Holmes. Lovely ball there by David Boyd, one-handed pass. Savita by corner. Made the decisive break, but Holmes was quick enough from 30 metres out. Nolan. Oh. Dixon running off. Inside to the corner. Boyd. Schultz. Oh, what a brilliant try that by Hull. Very well worked try, 2 changes of direction. Dixon, the corner. Boyd, McKenzie. Gets red to the corner. Chico Jackson, shall score, he does. Right under the post, holding very well there on the last tackle. Kept the ball alive, moved it to the right wing. Kevin Gray, lovely ball, Johnson, gets rid of the fullback. Oh, what a brilliant try by Mike Johnson.
Off to a good start then with that win over Wakefield, and it was Featherstone next, and remember, Featherstone the only team to have lowered Hull sails in the league.
Steve Craven. Leicester. Schultz. Tackled by Lowe. Hull going right, got men out. Boyd. A lovely ball, Wilson gets rid of it, Leicester. And Leicester's over under the post. Must be a suspicion of Hewitt, Fisher. Hewitt. Schultz. Holmes. Hallis on the drop-off. Heppy. The corner. Nolan. Wilson. And he scores. Bring the score up to 14. Hull made an enormous number of mistakes in this game. Were unable to put any constant pressure onto Featherstone. But certainly Featherstone played with bags of spirit, enthusiasm, fed on Hull mistakes, and really always had Hull on the back foot.
It's obvious that Featherstone Rovers are Hull's bogey side for the season, but you can't have a bigger challenge than the one against Hull KR to follow it with.
On the 30-metre line. Hewitt. Schultz, nice ball to Rob Nolan. Well read by the Rovers winger, coming in to make the tackle. Adams, Craven. Craven up to the 10-metre line. Still going Steve Craven. Fifth and last tackle. Did a good set of 6 from Hull this. Hewitt. Oh, chance for Nolan. He's got Johnson over in the corner. Great start from Hull. And they finish it off superbly.
Hewitt. The corner. Oh, great tackle by Stanley Jean. Johnson. The corner. Yeah, he's over. What a try by Tavita by corner. 1, 2, 3 Rovers defenders. Heppy. Good ball to Rob Nolan, but excellent tackle. Wait, no, it does. Johnson. Gets rid. Schultz. Leicester. Oh, runs into 2 Rovers defenders. The corner. Charges over, he's over. Tavita the corner, ran at a static defence, and it's over again. Simple try, not very special. And there's the full-time hooter, with Rovers victorious.
Well, that last-minute try by Mike Fletcher was a real kick in the teeth for Sharks fans, but overall things were going okay. The team second in the table.
Tackled 15 metres out. Eppy. Goes. Eppy. Scores. Oh, just shook off 2 tacklers then, Brad Eppy. Men outside him. Use them as a foil. Just too strong for the 2 defenders. Little cut inside, puts the ball down. About 20 metres.
Half. Hewitt. Leicester. Ireland standing wide. Johnson for the corner. Has he made it? Try going to be given. The touch judge consulting with the referee. Try is given. Mark Johnson did quite a bit to do there, Brian, to score.
Hewitt. Eppy. Oh, lovely ball by Eppy. Stephen Holmes. And scores. Beautiful ball by Eppy into the gap. And really York cover was nowhere there. Just 2 couple of quick passes.
Ireland. 5th and last tackle. Well, they've made very good yards on this set of 6. Hewitt. Again the bomb. Not quite so deep. Comes loose. Chance here. Hallison at the corner. Comes back inside. And York play the penalty for missing the bomb.
Again, good tackling by York. Desperate defence. Fisher. Will score. Yeah, he does. Charges over. Typical under Fisher try. 3 defenders with him. Charges over from 10 yards out.
Dixon. Oh, well set here. Boyd. To Fisher, who strolls over. Nice ball by David Boyd. But Andy Fisher just swatted away some, what has to be said was quite feeble York tackling that time, Brian.
A long kick, Hewitt. The corner, Hallis are after it. Hallis picks it up, gives it to the corner. Mike Dixon in the corner. Yeah, good try by Mike Dixon. Enterprising play by Mark Hewitt. And good chasing by the corner and Hallis.
All's right. I think he got out pretty swiftly in Ireland. Yes, loops around. Ball comes loose, picked up by Vercona, who hasn't managed to score. Brilliantly taken by Leicester. Vercona, this time maybe, this time yes. Just to the left of the post. A popular try, he's been frustrated a number of times, Brian. And eventually he does make it. For York. Hewitt. Schultz, nice ball to Kevin Gray, going for the corner, scores a good try, and a nice ball from Matt Schultz. Put Kevin Gray in beautifully, and he finished very, very nicely, Brian.
Yeah, it was lovely, inch perfect goal. Hewitt, Ireland, who trundles up, give it back to Hewitt. To Wilson, lovely ball to Fisher. Good tackle underneath. Dixon will go. Dixon. Mike Dixon, stopped a yard short. Hull. Oh, must be Leicester. Gives it. It's a simple drop off. To Richard Wilson, I think it is. Getting the congratulations. Fisher. Good tackling by Featherstone, by Wakefield. Holmes for the gap, Holmes! Oh! Finally stopped, last tackle. Boyd! Inside to Leicester, who scores right under the post. Brilliant try that by Hull. Excellent ball into the gap. Schultz scores. Hull switching right. Boyd. Oh, lovely ball to Holmes. Holmes will score, and he does. Lovely ball by David Boyd. Just slipped it on the outside. The winger stayed out with Hallis, and there was a big gap for Steve Holmes to run through, and he did just that. Hewitt. Long ball to the corner. It's inside ball to Boyd. Rob Nolan. The corner. And the corner forces his way over. Tremendous interpassing again by Hull. And again, Steve, a good short south play by David Boyd.
Wilson handling for the second time in this set of 6. Ireland. Nice ball to Hallis. Just can't escape the attention of scrum half March, but does eventually get the ball away to Nolan. Chances here. Chance here. Kevin Gray's into a big gap. He's going for the corner. Is he going to make it? He has. What a good try by Kevin Gray. That was persistence by Hull. Some good work.
Nolan. Hewitt. Boyd. The corner. Hallis. Oh, Hallis is over in the corner. Try given. I thought it was slight suspicion.
Hewitt. Nolan. Nolan steps, goes himself. Tackled 10 metres away. Short side. Hewitt to Boyd. Boyd to the line. Boyd scores. Well, all were patient there, Brian. A number of chances. There was a great tackle on Vercona that stopped him scoring on the right. Vercona's at acting halfback. Hewitt. Fisher. Kevin Gray. Wakefield hanging on. Hewitt. Boyd somehow manages to hold on, gets the ball away. Hewitt. Chances here. Vercona for the line. Vercona to score. And Tavita Vercona comes up with his second try of the afternoon. And in the end, when he got on the outside, there was just too much pace and power for the Trinity. Dixon from acting half. Good run by Mike Dixon is away. Oh, lovely ball to Kevin Gray. Finds Johnson on the inside, who will finish off. Well, that's a splendid try. And some brilliant work there by Mike Dixon, Brian.
Yeah, brilliant run, to call it a scampering run. March, chips, little back kick. May David picks it up, gives it to Holmes. The corner, he'll go, the corner! The corner! The corner! Oh! Oh, he beat 3 tacklers with ease, did Savita by corner then. Hat-trick for the corner. That's the Hooter. 2 good points that by Hull. Excellent start. Then a few hiccups at the end of the first half, beginning of the second half, and then it all came good again in the last quarter of an hour.
Ireland playing it. Right with Boyd. Takes on the defence, makes them the 15. This is a good solid set of 6 to start the game by Hull. Mark Hewitt gets a good kick in. Oh, that's useful. The referee still calling the 6th tackle. Heppy on the outside. Got Johnson outside him. Johnson scores in the corner. Referee consulting with touch judge. Towards the try. Wow, perfect start. Right. Gray finds Andy Fisher. Oh, good strong run by Fisher. Howell in the tackle. To the right, Hewitt. Boyd. Back to Ireland. Vacona on the inside pass. Vacona for the line. Vacona for a try. Good work by Hull's forwards, Boyd. And Andy Ireland did really well in that, sir. Nolan, a good flat ball. 4 tackles gone. Hewitt. Vacona gets the ball inside to Hallis. Holmes going on the outside. Got Hewitt on his inside. He also had Hallis on the inside, and it's Hewitt that finishes off. What a well-deserved try for Mark Hewitt. Temperatures, of course. Conditions really are absolutely ideal tonight. The ball comes loose, and the referee says play on. Heppy inside to Holmes, who picks up and scores an easy try. Well, Featherstone have made a mistake on a couple of occasions before, having got possession inside their own. 5th and last. See another bomb, will we? Nolan. Kick for the corner, onto Gledhill. Hallis under it, the corner. Who scores? Does he score? I think he has. I think it's a mistake from Stokes. The try is awarded. Jamie Stokes lost possession. First of all, it came back off winger Gledhill.
Tackle by Sean Airwind, read that well. Kevin Gray running off. Hewitt. Dixon has to pass it. Fisher, he'll go. Fisher will score. Oh, what a try by Andy Fisher. What a try. Just powered his way through the 3 defenders, still getting up. Understandably, after one time not playing the game.
Nolan, 5 metres away. Hull set deep here to the left. Here it comes. Schultz kicks through, but the fullback's taken it. No, he hasn't. He's dropped it. And Matt Schultz comes up with a try. Well, he's come up with a try. I don't think it was a terribly good kick as a fullback that he covered, but he made a real blob. It bounced over him.
Hallis. Hewitt. Fisher on the charge. Fisher. Hewitt. Schultz. The corner's over. It seemed that Kimmel had him then, Steve, but just ran at him, threw him and put the ball down.
So it was on to a 4th derby game of the season, and remember, Hull and Hull KR hadn't met for the previous 3 years. The current tally this season stands at Hull 2, Hull KR 1. What next?
Ireland on a flat ball. Nolan kicks, high kick, good kick by Nolan. Hallis for the corner, and he's over. Bad bounce out for Rovers, ball came back to Hull. Shipped it out to Graham Hallis, who'll enjoy that try. Just scored, just a yard inside from the right-hand touchline. Kevin Gray, Boyd. Nolan, Holmes, Heppy. The corner. Good run by the corner. Good tackling by Rovers. Nolan, lovely ball to Boyd, who pulls in 3 tacklers. Can't get rid of it. Dixon, Hewitt. Right, whoa, lovely passing by Hull. Quick passing by Hull. Puts Johnson over in the corner. Just quick hands. Boyd. Tackle a yard short, last tackle. Hewitt, Heppy, Johnson. Yes, he's over in the corner, Johnson. Good pass into the left by Hull. Excellent pass by Heppy, missed the man out. There's a full-time hooter with Hull victorious by 22 points to 10. Well, the old enemy Craven Park, players shake hands. Most of the time the game's been played in a good spirit, hard game as you'd expect. I think Hull just about deserved the victory today.
Well, that was a great victory for the Sharks, and it put them back to where they're used to being this season, right at the top of the table.
Position. Heppy. Almost up to the halfway line. Hewitt. Looks a nice ball out to David Boyd, who throws a dummy and goes to a big gap. He's got Ewan Windley on his inside. Still going, he's got Richard Wilson with him, and Richard Wilson's under the post for the opening try. And a pretty easy one, you've got to say, Brian. David Boyd, half a dummy really, an enormous gap opened up. Showed a lot of pace, David Boyd. Good experience.
Hewitt, big kick, Johnson after it. Should be Kane's ball at full back. It isn't, the corner knocks it back. Boyd, still going, Boyd. Matt Hewitt will score. On the last tackle. We've seen that play before, Steve. Usually it's Mark Johnson that knocks the ball back. This time
Chase his own kick and stop Hollis short of halfway. Nolan. Dixon gets away. Dixon showing tremendous pace. Kevin Gray tracking him. Kevin Gray Hopcourt just got Barker. Gray's allowed to carry on and scores the try. That's a good reward for Kevin Gray. Hopcourt did well to come back and make the tackle. He's complaining that he thought the tackle was completed, but in fact Gray's momentum was never halted. And he got back to his feet. Really should be some gaps. Heppy. Nolan throws the dummy, goes himself, crosses the line and scores. Very easy try, yes, really finding things difficult with stopping him then. Very difficult.
Fitzgerald, prop off and go. Loses the ball. May David. Long ball. Johnson should score in the corner. And he does. Good long ball there by May David.
Oh, Nolan finds a big gap up the middle. Good run, Rob. Nolan just can't get away from the last man, that's Fitzgerald. His footwork there deserved a try. Heppy. Here's Kevin Gray into the gap. Kevin Gray for the line and scores with ease in the corner.
Hewitt. Nolan. Steps off his foot, goes. Gets rid of it to Hewitt again. Mark Hewitt will score. Yes, he scores. A dummy. And then he just managed to wrong foot Fitzgerald and get the ball down.
To the right, Hewitt. Schultz. Reverse ball to Boyd. 8 metres away. To the left, Hewitt. Nolan. Bacona out to Johnson, should walk in at the corner and does well, beats the despairing tackle of Hopcutt and scores in the corner. That's Mark Johnson's second of the afternoon. Andy Wilson. Nolan. Nice ball to Gray. Ireland, good shot passing by Hull. But Ireland can't pick up the last man. Last tackle. Hull are going to come to the right. Hewitt. Nolan. Andy Fisher over for the try. Plucked it out of the air. Long floated ball by Rob Nolan. Picked up by Andy Fisher. And the gap opened up in front of him.
Nolan. Hewitt. Fisher. Hewitt. Kevin Gray will go, I think here. Gray will go. Oh, didn't make his mind up, but nobody came short enough then, really. I thought Kevin Gray lost the ball. The corner, he scores. But York were most unfortunate then, Steve, because I thought Kevin Gray lost the ball getting up.
Well, another romp against York saw Hull go through to a quarter-final meeting with the Hunslet Hawks.
Hunslet 20, short side play, Hewitt. Heppy drops off Kevin Gray, who stumbles. Ireland acting half, Hewitt. Nolan. Nice ball to Boyd into a huge gap and crosses with consummate ease. What a soft try, Brian, to start with.
Yeah, very soft try. Nolan. Drops off Schultz. Schultz is through. Still going, he's got Nolan on his left. Nolan, he'll go all the way himself. He does. He still had 2 men spare on his left. But realised he was quick enough, beat St. John Ellis' despairing ankle tap. Underneath. Nolan. Schultz. Heppy. Gray. Johnson beats the winger and dives over in the corner. Good try by Mark Johnson. Went straight through the young winger Campbell's tackle. Straight through him. And then was too quick for Charles coming across and St. John Ellis. Heppy. Hewitt. Holmes. Long ball. Hallis. Oh, and he collects it at the second attempt, Graham Hallis. Not an easy pass to catch, that one, Steve. Long and high and a little bit wide. But he caught it at the second attempt. Knocks it up. As it came down, he caught it. Well read by the Hunslet defence. Nolan. Wilson onto a flat ball. Sutherwood into the tackle. May David beats the defender. Should be Holmes over. It isn't. It's Kevin Gray over. Just quick passing that by Hull going left. Hunslet got a hand in. Didn't make any difference. Just quick passing. Kevin Gray too quick for St. John Ellis coming across.
Ball 10 metres away. Hewitt. Nolan. To Heppy into the big gap, and Heppy scores from Rob Nolan's nice crisp pass. A very easy try again for Hull. They started the first half with a simple try and they start the second half in the same way. Heppy just crosses with absolute consummate ease. He was given the green light by 3 Hull defenders there. And I enjoyed that. And another still easily tried, right?
Sutherwood. Chips. Picked up by Holmes. Clear field in front of him, Steve Holmes. He's got Hallis. Oh, and a good tackle. He's out of the tackle. I thought the scrum half had got him then. The corner. Rob Nolan. Andy Island. Hepe. Grail should score, but he drops up. Johnson, who makes the line. Hewitt. Holmes goes. Holmes cuts inside. He's got Mark Hewitt with him. Mark Hewitt will go over under the posts. Just simple. Holmes into the gap. Dummied, accelerated, and turned the ball back into Mark Hewitt. Just had to catch it and just trot the last 10 metres and put the ball down under the posts.
To the right, Hewitt. Holmes checks and goes. Some pace, puts on the gas, floats the ball out to Danby, who should score in the corner, and does. Well, but Danby the try scorer, but Steve Holmes the creator. Very good at straightening and going into the gap, and has got the pace to accelerate away, and a nice option, a lofted pass to Rob Danby, who had enough room to score in the corner. Brian, that brings up the 50.
So a convincing win over Hunslet guaranteed a home semi-final for the Sharks, and Old Trafford was getting ever closer.
Hewitt, Nolan, Schultz, Gray, Johnson, Cover gets across, good tackle that by Luthwaite. Mark Hewitt, by term defence, moves up quickly. Nolan, Boyd, gets rid of it to Nolan. There's a try on. Holmes dummies, spins out the tackle and goes over just 10 metres in from touch. Well, that was really Hull's first attack of the game. Simple try. Boyd. Tackled by Joan Lester. Ireland charges at the post, good run by Andy Allen, gets rid to Mike Dixon, to Hewitt, to Fisher. Hepe will score, and Hepe scores. Good run by Fisher, and a ball out the back. Brad Hepe supporting, big gap in front of him over the Whitehaven line, and came near enough under the post to make it easy. Quite wound up is Leicester. Schultz. Whitehaven don't buy the dummy. Back on their own line. Bacona goes. Bacona will score. The corner scores. Oh, he just brushed past 3 tackles on the short side there. Really, absolutely nothing on when Tavita Bacona got that ball. And calls over somebody. I don't know who it is. I think it's the Whitehaven coach, who gets a red card. Obviously the Whitehaven coach has said something to the referee. And off he goes for an early bath. We don't often see that. Schultz. Holmes, Gray, Nolan. Johnson goes outside his man. Johnson still going. Johnson got the full back in front. Beats him. Oh, what a try by Mike Johnson. Beat 3 defenders on the touchline in the last 20 metres. Tremendous try by Mike Johnson. Hewitt. Boyd. Schultz scores. Good run that by Matt Schultz. Threatened to pass to the outside men. Half a suggestion of a dummy, but Schultz kept running and powered over near to the corner flag. Wilson. Oh, good charging run by Wilson. Hard tackle there. Kitchen in again. Hewitt. Hull going left. Down. Nolan cuts inside. Back to Hewitt. Hewitt. Clearfield. Hewitt. Sidesteps the full-back. Oh, what a try by Mark Hewitt. Oh, what a try. A very important part of the game. Rob Nolan did well, turned the ball back inside, but really when Hewitt got it, there was nothing on for him. Most of the Whitehaven defenders were in front. but two very big side steps took him into the clear, and he ran round and put the ball back down under the post. May David, oh, lovely ball to Kevin Gray, who should score, and does. Lovely ball into the gap by May David, held it up well, and Kevin Gray just sped off into the gap. Kiddie, inside ball, Highland, just give it straight to Johnson. Johnson should make the line. Oh, just beats Kitchen's tackle and scores 10 metres in. I thought Wayne Kitchen was going to get across to him, but Johnson just strode out the tackle for his second try of the game. Misses. And there's the full-time hooter. With Hull victorious in this Premiership semi-final by 45 points to 18.
So it's Old Trafford, here we come. The double is very much on the cards, and the opposition, well, you might have guessed it, those old rivals from Huddersfield.
Here they come home. Make some noise. Come on. This is it. You're waiting, you're here, and now stand by.
Hull Sharks. Boyd with the run, and now Hewitt. Hewitt floats one out wide. The Giants on the attack. It's Campbell who was hauled down just short. The Sharks putting the pressure on. The high kick from Hewitt. Pressure in that in-goal area for the Giants, but it's the Giants who survive.
Well, that was a great kick and great pressure. I think, Bill, the extra width here at Old Trafford.
Actually, it's Weston and Russell who do the tackling. Zero tackle that was, and it's taken them to within 10 metres of that Huddersfield Giants line. Dixon, Hewitt, Nolan. Schultz gets the ball off to Johnson. Johnson just tackled short and then tries to get the ball over the line, and that surely is a double movement. John Connolly awards the penalty.
Well, a great spell of pressure from the Sharks. Superb defence to start with to set the position. Great play from the full-back to bring the ball back and set that position up, and there a clear double movement. He was grounded, he was held.
They've beaten 3 times this season and drawn with, at last, have a victory against the opposition from Humberside. Mayor David, and there goes the hooter, and the Huddersfield Giants celebrate. It's been a powerful performance from Steve Ferrer's side.
Well, I suppose there had to be a disappointment along the way, and maybe Old Trafford was just one game too many for the Sharks. But still, it couldn't cloud what had been a quite fabulous season for coaches, players and fans alike. Steve's all quiet at the moment at the Boulevard, but there have been some exciting times here this season.
Yeah, definitely so, yeah. I mean, it's Threatening Stand, which is our backdrop here, has seen some great action, and, you know, it's been a pleasure to be a part of, certainly from my part, over the last couple of months.
At the start of the season, the club would say, well, they wanted to get into Super League and they'd love to win the Premiership final at Old Trafford, and it was sort of 50% of the dream came true.
Yeah, probably a little bit more than 50% really. The fact that we did get to Old Trafford, getting beat there was, you know, very disappointing for everyone, you know, heartbreaking almost for some of us, but you know, achieving Super League status was the goal at the start of the season, and to achieve, you know, the main goal, I would have thought, has been a tremendous success.
And it makes it all the more creditable, the fact that there has been upheaval here. I mean, we've got to say that Phil Siggs Phil Sigsworth was here for quite some time and played a significant role in the club, and then since then obviously Peter Walsh has taken over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's been well chronicled locally the impact Phil's departure had on the club. But his time here was, he did a fantastic job. There's, I think he stated it in his early days here that his main goal was to get in Super League, and to all intents and purposes, he got the team there, and that's got to be good for his own personal point of view. The politics involved unfortunately meant that Phil wasn't about. I don't really understand the full implications behind it all, but credit to him. He did a good job, and the players responded to him, which was good.
Now, you've known life at Craven Park across Hull, you've known life with York in recent times. What was your brief when you came here to the Boulevard?
The brief was we expected to be in Super League. We was practically there. I think by the time I came on board, we was one game away from achieving that, which we already have done now. I think the main thing is that we've got a plan for the future. We need to put a structure in place where we're developing all aspects of football, and certainly my part in it is I'm an out-and-out coach, and I'm going to work alongside Peter Walsh with the planning and everything for the football in Super League. But also we've got to look at the development side of our club, and we've been picking up. I know, as you commented my time across at OKR, we struggled behind the development process what Hull had in place, which is, I had a part in that in my days here before under Brian Smith and such like. We had a good development structure then. We've got some top players coming through, and we've got to look at how we can get more of those players coming through, as it was the likes of Lee Crooks, Gary Schofield, Gary Devotee, Andy Dannett, all these sort of people who started off at the club, and they've gone on to achieve international status. We've got to look at getting more of that. That's a big part of what I want to work on myself. Also, the players coming into the club, we are going into a full-time basis, so there's a certain amount of management aimed at there, and it's got to be dealt with on a professional basis, and they've got to have the right approach to it in every aspect of the game. And I think that's a big area what I'm going to try and have an impact on.
One last general question, Steve, and we'll let you go, but it's got to be the one, hasn't it? How are you going to do in Super League?
Yeah, again, it's a mouth-watering prospect. A mouth-watering prospect. Yes, there is a lot of tough competition in there. We're not going to have easy weeks. Every week is going to be like, a cup tie, but it's what we want to be. It's where we want to be. It's something what everyone's had a dream of for so long. We can survive. There's no problem. We can more than survive. We will be aiming for a mid-table position. Salford have shown this year. They came upon the first division. They've added some experienced players, and they've proved a very tough opposition. We can do that. The Boulevard is a formidable place for anyone to come, and we're looking to certainly make this a little bit of a fortress for us. The infamous Threatened Standards will certainly be vociferous in their support of it. Important, the players what we add to us at the moment, which will have an impact on our Super League aspirations, but yes, we can make an impact in it, and within a couple of years we can be a driving force in there as well. That's our aim, and we'll achieve that.
You personally have had a wonderful time, haven't you? 40 tries. Could you have dreamt of that?
No, if someone said I'll score 20 tries this season, I would have been happy with that. But 40 tries, I think it shows how well the team have performed all season, and I'm happy with scoring tries. But I think I'm more happy than that we got the promotion spot.
Was there any try in particular that stood out for you as the best of the season?
I think all players will say all the tries are important, but I think the hat-trick at Witness was one that I think was hardest to earn, and I think that's one that I'll forget. I'll always remember from this season.
Well, the player always treasures a hat-trick, and there'll be one or two for you.
Yes, I've been fortunate to score a few hat-tricks this season, and again, it's the team have played really well, and that's contributing factor to scoring the hat-tricks, I think.
Peter, I'm sure when you came here, you were very aware that Hull is a club of great tradition, and they want to be back up at the top.
Well, that's right. A couple of years ago I was at work and I had the unfortunate pleasure of coming here and listening to the crowd support and how vocal the crowd are, and they're desperate for a Super League side, and hopefully we can provide a decent one next year. Now they've been given the opportunity. And you are following in the footsteps of a legend a few years ago in Brian Smith here, a great achiever. Yeah, Brian's obviously come over here, done a very good job. I might be following his footsteps. He was at Illawarra, I then went to Illawarra, he went to Hull, now I'm at Hull. So if I could have 3/4 of the success Brian had, I'll be more than happy. How impressed have you been with the players you've got since you took over? Attitude-wise, tremendous. You know, people say, oh, they won't handle Super League level, but you'll never know until we give them the opportunity. And one thing what they're going to be given is full-time training, which they never had. So, you know, people say they're not going to be able to do this, they're not going to be able to do that. Until given the chance, they won't be able to answer those questions till next year. What was the first thing you said to the squad when you came? Well, unfortunately, myself and the players had no input what happened off the field, and we could only worry about what we could do on the park, and let's just get on with what we do, regardless who we work for rather. You know, we're just going to do our best, and if we do that, you know, they'll look after themselves. It's a big step to take. Are you happy that you've got the resources here that you need? Yes and no. Obviously, we need more personnel, without a doubt. If anyone that's seen that game, Wigan St Helens straight after our game, it was like men against boys, and we need personnel that have been at that level consistently over the last few years to come in, help our players now to get to that level. How confident are you with your contacts you've got in the game that you're going to be able to bring in some big name players? Well, I'd like to think we can, yeah. You know, David Lloyd's assured us that he doesn't want to be a one-season wonder and come back down again, so I'll take David on his word, and if any big name players become available, we're in the process of the last week talking to a lot of players. We've spoken to a lot of managers last week, and we will be doing so this week, and we won't leave anything to rest until such time as we can put a decent side on the park here at Hull. Are you able to say anything to the fans about what money might be available? They're just got to trust us on that it will be made available. We've been told, and as I've said before, I'll take David Lloyd on his word that won't be a one-season wonder, and I'll guarantee that we'll have a very, very competitive side next year, and they just take my word for that we will. I was at Bradford Bulls last week, and they were saying that one very significant factor in their success had been the bulking up of the players, if you like, pre-season, that they were very, very big and they were very, very fit. Well, we can't turn up and the hopeful that we're going to be strong enough, or the hopeful we're going to be fit enough. First game, we're going to be ready to go 80 minutes, and we're going to be strong enough to handle the opposition. Then hopefully we can throw a few options at them, with the personnel we'll have to win the game. But if we don't stand up physically or fitness-wise, we're wasting our time turning up. So the likes of Andy Fisher and Ireland, are they going to be bigger next season, would you think, as well? Well, Andy Ireland plays at 18 stone now. Yeah. So he's a big boy, and Andy Fisher, unfortunately, with that knee injury, poor old Fisher's not going to be available probably March, April next year. It's the playoff thing has been a terror for us with these knee injuries, and they're going to have to. As I said, we'll provide everything for them. It's up to them to do the part too. The club is going to be very much in focus, isn't it? You're going to be on television far more than you've been. It's big time, and a big opportunity. Well, it is, for everyone, the players, the office staff, the ground staff, the coaching staff, everyone is all gearing up towards Super League, and we've all got an important job to play, and if we all do our job properly, I don't foresee any problems. I'm not going to make any rash predictions that we're going to finish there or here or wherever, and we'll just give it our best shot, and I fully expect to be in Super League come 1999. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this story of what turned out to be a wonderful season and resulted in a place in the Super League for the Hull Sharks. The name may have changed, the players may have changed, but the overall storyline hasn't. Hull have had some vintage years, and this turned out to be one of the best.